Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Modesto Bee General Election Forum featuring the two candidates vying to become the next mayor of Ceres. They are Bret Durossette and Javier Lopez. They are vying to replace the outgoing Chris Vieira. Tonight, our moderator is opinions editor Garth Stapley. He will be joined by our editorial board, Patty Guerra, managing editor, Bee research and information specialist Maria Figueroa, and myself. Garth, take it away.
All right. Well, we're sure pleased to have you here, the mayoral candidates for Ceres. Thank you for joining us, and we're also always happy to have the viewers, and some of whom have provided some of the questions that you're about to get. So we appreciate some participation from readers. Well, let's start with opening statements. We'll give you about 1 minute each, and then we'll go from there. Mr. Durossette, let's start with you.
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Modesto Bee for doing this. I know when I ran in 2015, we had an in-person debate, and that went real well. Enjoyed that time. The other part, too, is just a shout out to all the firefighters, not only in Ceres, but across the state, because what we're doing right now is terrible. But let me just tell you, I'm a teacher at Ceres High School. I've been teaching for 27 years. I've coached for 29 years. I was the vice mayor for a couple of years. I've been on the city council for the last 13 years. I'm currently on the water board, the SRWA. I served Stancock for 2 years. And at the very end of the day, I've made Ceres a priority for me, not just Ceres, the whole Ceres, not one side of the freeway. And you know, what I'll do is I'll continue with the experience of service that I've had over the last number of years to continue doing things that are necessary for our members of this community. So.
Excellent, thank you. Mr. Lopez.
How's it going, everybody? I really do appreciate you having me on here. And well, let's start off with my name is Javier Lopez. I've lived here in Ceres most of my entire life. I attended Blaker Kinzer and Ceres High. I'm proud to be raised here in Ceres by my humble parents who showed me that hard work and good ethics can take you far. My ambitions and aspirations have brought me to this moment where I own my own business, work full-time as a senior fire technician, and I've dedicated the last 3 years coaching our freshman football team at Central Valley High School. I am living the American dream. The families in our community are looking for a new leader that will set forward ideas that will not only benefit us today, but also prepare us for the future.
Excellent, thank you. All right, we would like you to give a letter grade, A to F, to the Ceres Council the Ceres City Council for their work over the past couple of years, and explain your grade. We'll start with you, Mr. Lopez.
I'm gonna give it a B. For one, I know that it's important to the city council to, take care of the city of Ceres, and I do really appreciate the hard work and dedication that they set forward. I do believe that there is some improvement that needs to be done across the board, so I'm going to give them a B.
Very good, Mr. Durossette.
You know, I would give grades all the time, right? As an educator, I'd give us an A-. But at the same time, too, I'd highlight many different things in regards to, we just did a master plan update in 2018. We also just did a Muni Code update in 2020. We have the River Bluff Park, what we just did, Measure L, redoing all the streets with Measure L money. Just built a brand new safe route to schools over off Whitmore Avenue. And at the end of the day, hey, our general fund reserves are going to be $6 million. And part of that is because we got money from the CARES Act, and it's going to be about $2 million, but we also, because of COVID, we've lost some money. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and that brings us directly to our next question, which is, has Ceres received its fair share of COVID-19 relief money? And please explain. And we'll start with Mr. Durossette.
How long is this question? 30 seconds or a minute?
I think it's a minute.
Okay. You know, the CARES Act, we're actually getting about $2 million from the county. Now, we know the county got about 90+ million, and they're just dividing 30 million up all 9 cities. And I think that 2 million right now has been really good for us because we're losing a lot of money on tax dollars because of COVID. When COVID hit in March, it's been really terrible. We have businesses downtown that are closing, and we need to keep our police and fire, public safety up. And I just learned earlier in the week that last week that we can put it all in the general fund, which is going to go to help our police and fire to be able to pay for the services that we really need to have. And we need to have more police. Absolutely. And I think this might give us that opportunity because we're 2 police officers short right now and we're 2 firefighters short. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes, I would have to agree with Mr. Durossette. Public safety is number one. With that being said, it's going to give an additional funding to the police and fire, and that's actually a great thing that we need to do, most definitely. Yes, this COVID thing is really setting everybody back. I think it's hard to blame anybody for that. So I really do appreciate the city council for making those decisions, because when the opportunity comes and all said and done, we most definitely always need to support our local police department and fire department.
Okay, and this question is just a quick question, so you can probably just do it in yes or no or at 30 seconds or less. What is your personal approach to wearing a mask in public? We'll start with you, Mr. Lopez.
I have to wear it all the time. As a fire suppression technician, I drive to the Bay Area every single day, and I have to wear my mask everywhere I go. I've become accustomed to it. I think that it's important. And yes, once in a while you'll forget to put it on, but you'll jump back right in the vehicle and you'll put it back on. We got to get used to it. Sometimes it's hard to breathe, but at the end of the day, I believe that strongly we need to wear our mask.
And same question, Mr. Durossette, what is your personal approach to wearing a mask in public?
Well, I mean, when you go into businesses that require you, they all require you at this time to wear a mask. Like I just got my hair cut this afternoon for this debate, and I had to have a mask the time that I was in. And so the county came out with a mask. It was kind of after our protesting that we were doing, where you didn't have to have a mask on. I wear a mask when I go into stores. I wear a mask when I come out of stores. If I'm around people that's not 6 feet, social distancing is important. And again, I think right now the county's doing a good job of slowing the spread down. So.
Mr. Durossette, Ceres is the 3rd largest city in Stanislaus County, but kind of sits in the shadow of Modesto. What can you do as mayor to help distinguish your city?
I always say, I mean, it's always ironic that I talk great things about Ceres, and this is a great community. And I think right now we're trying to bring the Supercenter Walmart in. It's going to be on our agenda on the 14th. And there's 9 slabs that's going to be it's called Southgate, where there's a great big hotel. We got In-N-Out Burger supposedly on its way, some other awesome things. And just that place right off the freeway, I think is awesome. The other part too, is we just built a couple fields and fixed up River Bluff Park. And that soccer complex is one of the best. And back in the day, our Costa Fields, our sports, stuff that we have in Ceres really brings people to this community. And by what we did with the both fields really sets us apart, because you just can't go watch all the baseball games just in one spot. So, and the other part too is we just retained Kingspan, which is one of our largest tax dollars. And, it's a great opportunity for Ceres to be able to get that tax base.
Mr. Lopez, what can you do as mayor to help distinguish your city?
For one, I agree with Mr. Durossette. I believe economical development is very important. We need to encourage entrepreneurship in our city for existing business owners and entrepreneurs that want to develop here, and also give them the confidence that the city council and myself will support them in such projects.
Maria?
Okay, so this question will start with Mr. Lopez. Please share your thoughts on the water treatment plant, on the new water treatment plant.
On the water treatment plant, yes. On the water treatment plant, I mean, I think the only small issue I might have, and of course, Mr. Ross is going to obviously elaborate way more on this, is I want to encourage the city council that we make sure that the water treatment plant is not putting a dent in the taxpayers, and make sure that it's affordable. I think that's just one of my biggest concerns, that it's affordable. When it does, within the next 2 years, I want to make sure that it doesn't go, a hike doesn't go so far that your residents can't pay. So Mr. Durossette, obviously you can elaborate on this, because that's one of my only smallest concerns.
We got to have drinking water, and we're actually securing the right drinking water for the legacies of people that are going to be coming through this community. We did a 218 process in 2017. The water rates are already done. People are already paying it. They're not going to go up any higher. And what happens is when you have arsenic, uranium, and nitrates in your water, in your wells, you have to do something about it. Now, we're not going to rely completely on just the surface water. The wells, we'll continue to use the wells. We got about 13 up and running right now. We'll use the wells. But what's happened is we're losing wells because we're dependent so much on groundwater. And so the surface water thing is going to be done 2023, sitting on the board with the mayor currently. you know what? Turlock's going to be a great partner, and it's going to be something that your grandkids, my grandkids, are going to be able to say, hey, listen, we have good drinking water. I mean, a great example is look at Dos Palace, where they had to bring in 50,000 bottles of water. Unbelievable. And we're going to have surface water, which is going to be clean.
Thank you.
Mr. Durossette, in terms of beautification efforts in your city, what should be the priority?
You know, you just can't say one thing as being a priority, because when you have shopping carts and you have illegal dumping and you have car abatement and you got all these different things that happen, not just in Ceres, they happen everywhere. You know, we have pockets of county that we have issues with this beautification. But you know, the great thing is Councilmember Chance Conant brought it to our attention, and the guy who's spearheading this is ex-Senator Anthony Cannella. I mean, we have a group of about 12 members, different people from different parts of our districts, because, you know, we're districts. And, you know, they're doing a really good job of really focusing on the things that we can take care of today. And there's a lot. And hopefully, you know, we'll start seeing some damage, putting some dent into making Ceres look beautiful.
Mr. Lopez, same question in terms of beautification. What should be the priority in Ceres?
The priority, just as he said, Mr. Conroy, when he brought that to my attention, I thought it was a great idea. I'm so glad that you guys brought it back to the forefront. One of my biggest issues is the homeless issue, and we all know that's not an issue that can be resolved overnight. I just don't want to be kicking the can down the road. That's something that we can't continue to do. I live on this side of Hatch Road, so I probably do see it more than a lot of other people in other districts. I see it every single day as I get off the Hatch Road Bridge. So for me, it's one of my biggest priorities that we make sure that we do take care of all the issues that we have faced. For example, Kmart, I know that it's a commercial area, but you have a lot of homeless people that are doing drugs over there. This is something that I believe everybody can agree on, that we need to make sure that we clean up our streets.
Thank you.
Okay, speaking of Kmart and other retail stores, Ceres has suffered the loss of several of them in recent years. What can be done to boost the city's retail sector? And we'll start with Mr. Lopez.
I think one of the biggest things that we can do is, like I said earlier, we need to encourage entrepreneurs to build here in Ceres. We want them to build here in Ceres for them to know that here our residents, they want this. Our residents have been waiting for a very long time for this. And I know that now that some of the red tape has been cut, that the process is coming along. So I think that we need to focus on working with other business developers that will want to bring more business here to Ceres.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Durossette, what can be done for the retail sector in Ceres?
You know, first of all, I think Ceres is going to have strong leadership, and I think I bring that. I think what we have to do is be able to bring businesses into current businesses, or say we have example business A that can expand, rather than filling and building a whole new building, that we have to try to find people that will do that. And that's been the focus of the council. Steve, our economic developer, is actually going out, reaching out to people that would be willing to increase their businesses that they currently have. But when I was a kid growing up in Ceres, and I went to Caswell and Ceres High School and stuff, there was a guy by the name of John Azevedo. I don't know if you remember this. He had AZ Television, and it was shop Ceres first. Don't drive to Oakdale and get a Dutch Brothers. Don't go to Turlock and have a steak. Go someplace in Ceres, bring that to Ceres, and we're going to need that right now. I mean, obviously, until we open this up to allow businesses to be able to go inside and eat, we got to go ahead and try to show what's happening. It's a sad thing right now. Pasta Prano closed down because of the COVID and because people didn't shop Ceres first.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, candidates, about 63% of Ceres' population is Latino. What are your ideas for reaching out to Latinos? Mr. Durossette.
You know, I always had the full, and again, the Latino Roundtable has always endorsed me and trying to get with them. Obviously, through this COVID, it's been pretty tough. You know, I'm an educator, and all different ethnicities work, right? I mean, I support them all. I support all of Ceres. And you know what we do as a teacher, is we reach out to students and we reach out to businesses. You know, my brother-in-law owns La Perla Tapatillas, which we have one in Ceres, and they have like 9 other places. And you know what? Some of my best friends are people that are in this community that have businesses. Marco Marino, which is part of the Latino Roundtable community. And you know what? my door's always open, my phone's on, and I've gone to people's places and houses and stuff when they've had issues. And it didn't mean if they were Hispanic, but they could have been any different group, but it doesn't make a difference. We're here. The city council's here. We're always embracing diversity. Our city council is always embracing diversity. I think that's something that we need to remember.
Thank you. Same question, reaching out to Latinos, Mr. Lopez.
Well, for one, obviously I am Latino, but that's besides the point. Talking to residents here in town, I think one of the biggest things is getting Latinos to register and vote. That's one of the biggest issues that I have living here in Ceres, that a lot of Latinos should be encouraged to vote. Someone like myself who lives here in Ceres, my family who lives in Ceres, they know how important it is to make change here in Ceres. And yes, it's largely influenced by the Latino community, but that doesn't mean that the rest of the community is going to be left behind. I think that it's more important to represent the city of Ceres as a whole.
Mr. Lopez, should Ceres hire the Modesto Fire Department to provide protection for Ceres?
Well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the Ceres Police Department, the fire department, they want to work with them. They do want to hire them, but I'm not too sure if I'm the right person to answer that question, to be honest.
Mr. Durossette, your thoughts?
That's a pretty tricky question. Part of the thing with regionalization, it's been talked about since I've been on the city council for the last 13 years. I mean, Turlock is right now talking with the city of Modesto in regards to regionalization, because there's a lot of pros for it. The pros are the saving of money at the end of the day. And obviously with COVID hitting and everything else, I think as a council, which we looked at, and to see what a contract might look like. You know what? Regionalization may not happen today. It may not happen in 5 years. But realistically, at the end of the day, when you have to buy all these turnouts, all these breathing apparatuses, when you have to buy fire trucks, and again, that's a whole nother story, it pays to go regional. Now, you know what? Ceres might not be ready for that. And again, we're going to listen to what the residents say. As a council, I'm going to listen to what they have to say. I've listened to what the firefighters say. The firefighters, for the most part, want to entertain it. And again, at the end of the day, I think we're quite a ways away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A couple of years ago, a Ceres police officer shot and killed a teenage boy in the back as he ran away from the officer. The officer did not shout a warning, and he did not release his police dog that was in his patrol car. Was the shooting justified? The city ended up paying his survivors $2.1 million to settle a lawsuit. We're wondering your thoughts on this case, Mr. Durossette.
It's always sad when officers and people are put in awkward situations and very difficult situations. A police officer has to react at a drop of a dime. And again, they have that training. I think what we should have done over the years, and I know I talked with the mayor about this, is we probably should have had better training. Not to say that situation wouldn't have happened. The person was showing a gun. I think this was the one you're talking about, and got out of the car. And who knew what the people in the car were going to do? And who knew where he was running to? And I think the DEA signed off on it and said that it was a legit situation, that the officer acted the way he did. But, at the end of the day, when you do stuff, and I don't know what the outcome was, I don't remember if we paid or what, because this is all closed session stuff. It's just a tough situation. I mean, law enforcement has had a tough go over the last number of years.
Yeah, it's an issue that's at top of mind right now across the country. Mr. Lopez, do you need me to repeat any of that, or are you ready?
No, I mean, I'll start off by saying that it's a sad situation. I'm sure that the police officer intentions weren't to shoot and kill this young man. I think for the family of the young man, they lost somebody they cared about, and for the police officer to go through that situation, I'm sure it was not easy, especially a person like myself who coaches freshmen. It would be a very difficult situation to be in. I don't think there's a judgment in that case. But the real question you were asking me was regarding should we pay them out, correct? Should have the city pay them out?
Yeah, we're just asking for your thoughts on it. The city did pay $2.1 million to settle the lawsuit with the family of.
Maybe I believe that the city made the right decision. I'm sure that they didn't want to continue with the litigation. I'm sure that the city didn't like what was going on when it came to that. I'm sure that it's all around, it was a sad situation, in my opinion.
Not everyone will remember, about the same time, the city also paid $2 million to settle another wrongful death lawsuit that was brought by the family of another man who was also shot and killed by Ceres police a little bit before that. And so, you know, police brutality and issues with the policing are in the public consciousness and dialogue these days across the nation. Would you support the creation of an independent civilian review board for the Ceres Police Department? Mr. Lopez.
I honestly feel that that could be something that could be brought to the table. I don't think I can give you a clear answer now. I would want to know the details when it comes to that. The question would be, would it really benefit or would it not? I think that as it stands, in my personal opinion, I believe that the current police chief has done a great job. And I think that his intentions are always going to be very clear and open about everything that happens in the police department. So if that were the case, then I would most definitely discuss it. I wouldn't take it off the table.
Thank you. Mr. Durossette.
You know, we had this conversation about the Muni Code update that we just did. The city council met for all this time, and you know, should there be a review board for somebody that wants to build a fence 25 feet high and they can't do that because the zoning says no? My answer to this question is absolutely not. There is going to be no review board. We're the city council. We're the people that are elected by the people. We're the ones that have to make those tough decisions and what's in the best interest of our citizens. And I think that you're going to be opening up a can of worms that, you know, what happens is now all of a sudden, maybe there's going to have to be a review panel for those people because the decisions and the events that took place didn't actually fit the mold of the people that are talking about to have the review board. So, you know what? We have a mayor, we have 4 council members, and we go into closed sessions and we talk about things that are very important, things that we can't talk about, like that last shooting. But at the end of the day, the answer is no.
Thank you. So this is a quick question. Who do you support in the race for Stanislaus County Supervisor District 5, Chance Condit or Tom Hallinan? Mr. Durossette.
Chance Condit.
And Mr. Lopez.
Not Chance Condit.
Thank you.
And next question, we'll start with Mr. Lopez. Another quick answer. Who do you support in the race for Congressional District 10? Is it Josh Harder or Ted House?
I honestly, I'm not going to endorse anybody when it comes to that. I'm not split on that decision. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
Okay, same question, Mr. Durossette. Who do you endorse for the CD10 race? Is it Josh Harder or Ted House?
I really like his answer. You know, if I'm leaning somewhere right now, it's probably Ted House. But you know what? I still have about a month and a half to see how each one behaves and what they're doing. And then, so, you know, I'll make that decision when it comes.
Mr. Rossett, name something positive about the outgoing mayor, Chris Vieira, and plus something you might think he could have done better.
You know, I always say this. I got to serve with Anthony Canella, strong mayor, and Chris Vieira, strong mayor. And I was going to run for mayor about 4 years ago, and I decided not to. And 5 years ago, and I ran for my council seat again. And so, you know, I've supported Chris. I think the tough decisions that he's had to make, the way he handles the meetings, I think the way he controls 4 different characters at the dais who've been elected by the citizens of the city, I think that, you know what, my hat goes off to him. Ceres is going to be missing him, I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to be ready to fill that position. But I think the thing that I think he could have paid more attention to, and we've had conversations about this before, and I said it a few minutes ago, that we probably should have gained more training. Training. You know what? We don't need to lay off officers. You know what? They get a lot of training at the very beginning of their careers. And then as their career progresses, and I know we've done this as a council because we've been hurting with money for such a long time until now. We have the best economy. We went $22 million general fund with $6 million going to go in reserves. That's unbelievable. That's 26%. And but going back to this, I think that he, as the strong mayor, could have came out a little bit more, a little pushing toward, you know, that aspect of it.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez, name something positive about outgoing Mayor Chris Vieira and something he might have done better.
Okay, on the positive note, I really do appreciate his service to our community. One day I would love to sit down with him and talk about the importance of leadership. That way it can guide me in my leadership. A negative thing I could say is I did watch a couple of the city council meetings, and I wish he would have just went with his gut.
On a particular issue?
Not on any particular issue, just sometimes I felt that when he, well, he actually did speak up. That's the thing about him, is that he would speak up, but I wish he would have took it a little bit further.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, we've come to our last question before closing statements. That was quick. What most sets you apart from your opponent? And we'll start with Mr. Lopez.
For one, I can tell you this much. For somebody like myself who runs a business, it is important to take care of my staff. I think that when it comes down to how my customer service is, it can relate to how we're going to take care of the citizens of Ceres. I think it's important to listen to the people and to make sure that when they do speak out, that we pay attention closely, and that our decisions that we make are going to impact them in one way or another. So we need to make sure that the decisions that we make are the right decisions. That's one of the reasons why I believe I'm going to be better fit for mayor.
Thank you. And Mr. Durossette, what sets you apart from Mr. Lopez?
Well, I mean, we could just go with the experience. I mean, that's an absolute no-brainer. 13 years of being on the city council and being on these different boards, being part of the League of Ceres, League of Cities, being an educator, teaching for 27 years in Ceres. I was a vice principal for a couple years. And you know what? There's nobody in all the different races that we have that even come close to the amount of experience that I have, especially at a time where we are today with COVID and our financial situations, which still are really good at this present time. We don't know how long stuff's going to be shut down. And, you know, my 27 years compared to something else of coaching, or 29 years of coaching alone. You know, I was a head football coach for 12 years at Ceres High, head baseball coach for 12 years at Ceres High, being the president of the Lions Club, which is the #1 service organization in the world. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you know what? This is going to be a great town for me to lead in. I've been leading already. So it's not that I have to lead vicariously. I'm leading by example, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Very good. Thank you very much for answering all these questions. It's now time for closing statements. You'll get 1 minute each. We started with Mr. Durossette first last time, so we'll reverse the order and start with Mr. Lopez first this time for closing statements.
Thank you very much. The moment is now for everybody to be more involved in the voting process by registering to vote in this year's election, and pay attention to the world around you. Kicking the can down the road is not going to resolve the solutions. The citizens of Ceres' voices will not be undermined. They will be heard. We must rise above all challenges and improve our lives by making sure the decisions that are made from here on out work for us and not against us. The time is now to begin investing in ourselves, here where we work and live. We must empower ourselves to achieve everything that we set forward. I will be the spokesman and will address the issues we face. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Durossette.
You know, I'm proud of the time I've spent on the city council. It's just been, you know, since day one, when I raised my hand in 2007 when somebody passed away. And I made it kind of my legacy, not just from a teaching perspective at the high school and making relationships, but people need to go and look at my Facebook. I have 2 videos that were made, and I've got a lot of diverse people in those videos, a lot of great people that did great things for the city of Ceres and elsewhere. But my supporters, Anthony Canella, all the board of supervisors, the Police Officer Association, the Firefighters Association, the current mayor, Chris Vieira, ex-mayor, Eric Ingerson, Les Bonsu and his wife. I mean, the list just kind of goes on and on. Chance Condit, you know, I got the mayor from Houston. I've got Manny Grewal from the city of Modesto. I mean, it's time to continue not kick anything down the road, because we haven't kicked anything down the road. This council has fought for the citizens. I'm proud to have served with all of them, and I'll continue to serve with the ones, hopefully, as we progress after November 3rd. So I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to have this debate, and wish everybody well.
Thank you very much. All right, well, this concludes tonight's candidates forum for Ceres Mayor. We appreciate the candidates discussing these issues with the Modesto Bee. We know it's not an easy thing to run and to put yourself out there and to serve your community. So thank you both for engaging in this. Viewers, be sure to tune in for more debates here at modbee.com throughout September and up until the November 3rd election. Last week we had candidates for state senate and also for a Stanislaus County supervisor. And later this week, we will interview candidates for 2 Modesto City Council seats. Thank you and good evening.